What up guys, welcome back to the vlog. We are here in Japan. Feels good to be back. Got the cars together in the new storage facility and PDI center that's being built out here at Toprank. Got Jannusch doing some inspections on my car. Oh, I just walked directly into Nate's photo. But got my car here. I'm really hyped to have this one out again, be able to drive it here in Japan. We got so much stuff to do. Tokyo Auto Salon in the morning for media day. Me taking the car to Fuji Speedway later on. We got Mickey's car here, Yasuka's car here. Got all my stuff together, including my helmet and everything I need for the track to be able to drive. So it should be a really cool trip. So we're gonna get the cars together now, get some gas in them, head to the hotel. Who knows what we're gonna get into tonight? Probably not anything, because Tokyo Auto Salon is going to come very early. Alright guys, day one, Tokyo Auto Salon. Mickey is already snacking.
Dude, you gotta grab at Auto Salon.
Also, I just want to really put another focus on this amazing Nismo cat shirt. Big fan of it there. But you know how I like my energy drinks. This is a super extreme Mountain Dew knockoff, it looks like. So it tastes like bubblegum. Pretty good actually. So if you're in Japan and you want some Lifeguard since 1986 Royal Jelly,
something tells me that hasn't been around since 1986.
I don't know, man. It has royal jelly in it.
Has Red Bull been around since 1986?
I don't know. All right, so starting by separating from the pack so I can kind of get as much covered as I want here, but you can see this is what the start of Auto Salon looks like. It is huge. All right, so right off the bat on the showroom floor here, there is a ton of things to look at. This RX-7 is catching my attention right away. It's media and invited guest only day today, so there's not as many people here as there typically is. There's still gonna be a bunch of people walking through shots here because it's packed, but in later days, it gets absolutely insane in here. Wall to wall to where you almost can't film anything. So this year, media pass as it is. This RX-7 is really sick. I'm sure if Mickey was next to me right now, he could tell me all about this thing, but I love the Rega Master Evos, and this kit looks super clean on it. Huge fan of this one. And right next to it is the RE booth, which typically has a great lineup if you're into RX-7s. This one, this year, no exception. All right, my first official stop is going to be the Trust booth. So Trust is Greddy in Japan, so you can see the Greddy branding here as well. This R35 has a pretty crazy wrap to it. Kenji is around here somewhere. I saw him when I was walking in, but lots of cool stuff here this year. Greddy Trust usually does a pretty large footprint at Auto Salon each year. It's in a different location this year, but tons and tons of Greddy branded merchandise here. Kind of just like how in Japan or in the US, you know, we like some of the Japanese stuff, especially to say Trust. Over here it's Greddy, which is pretty cool. And then of course Nissan Z. So these have been really popular. We saw a bunch of them at SEMA this year, and I'm expecting to probably see quite a few of them here as well, but this is the first one that I've seen so far. Right next to Greddy is HKS, which obviously another tuning house here and tuning brand from Japan. Got an R35 in the booth as well. Seems to be kind of the car to have so far. Seeing a lot of R35s in here. One thing's really cool, I saw this when we were at their technical base. They had the HKS bike in there, which is pretty cool to see. And of course all the different parts and stuff that they're displaying and selling as well. This will catch my eye. So here at the Yokohama booth, they have the Yokohama Super Formula car, which is pretty crazy. You can see all of the exposed Kevlar there, lots of carbon. This thing has to absolutely rip. Honda power plant. So this is kind of like what I saw at Radford Racing, just times like 100 probably. This thing is so sick. Next stop is Nissan. Hopefully they got some cool stuff around here. Kind of as we would expect, we have the Nismo Z and the Nismo R35 GTR with another car that looks like they're getting ready to unveil over there. Right across is Top Secret, which always has a lot of really cool stuff. One thing that's really standing out to me this year is, well, we see this color on the R35, but now they've done it on an R32. So this is an OEM Nismo color for the R35 GTR, but to see it on an R32 is really, really cool. Something that definitely I'm gonna think about as far as recommendations for colors for Built by Legends cars. It looks really, really, really good on an R32 GTR. And then next to it, the gold R34 GTR. This thing is absolutely so crazy. So for those of you that don't know, Smokey only paints certain colors gold, or certain cars gold. It has to be kind of the best of the best, and this one definitely looks like that. Man, so crazy. We've got this guy, Dustin, right? You'd think like this is like a Dustin car, but it's not. It's Reggie's car.
Dustin, it's an actual Reggie car.
And I'm gonna tell you,
This is what Dustin wishes he could do.
Reggie needs a little introduction. If you've seen
the
anything, anything I've done in the last 2 years, you know Reggie. So,
It's true.
Yeah, this is it, dude. What's the craziest thing about this car other than it's gold?
It's a 900 horsepower spec.
900 horsepower. Yeah, that'll do
Did you
it.
see the exhaust?
Yeah.
The exhaust is cool.
It is really sick, dude. Congratulations. This is
it.
awesome, man.
Appreciate
It's
it.
insane.
That liquid gold is mega, man.
It's dude.
It's my favorite.
crazy,
I
dude.
love the new colorway.
Yep.
The old gold is iconic, but the new gold is like
It's so unique.
So
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So this is not the same gold as the 32.
No, not the same.
Same gold as the 35.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know what they call the difference in them, but it looks totally different.
Whew, man, it looks
top
good.
secret
Like a
liquid
candy
gold.
gold.
We've got another R34 GTR here. I'm hoping to see a lot of Skylines here this year. I think they've been really, really popular, and hopefully continuing to show them here at Auto Salon will just continue to feel that popularity for years to come. And literally right around the corner, we have more Skylines. So got a Ken Mary here, which is something that we have a couple of in inventory currently. And then next to it, an R34 GTR. That is like your pretty standard looking Bayside blue one. An R32 GTR. We've got a really funny cutout of Mr. Tamura, which is hilarious. And then right next to it is the Zagato Milano, which is a really oddball kind of car. I've seen one of these at JAI before in Pebble Beach, but definitely kind of a weird one, but cool to see nonetheless. All right, at the far end of the Nissan booth here, they have a huge booth, is the Nissan Formula E car. So this thing is so cool, and if you look at the livery on it with the cherry blossoms, also shout out to Shell for sponsoring that. This thing looks so sick. I can't even imagine how fast a Formula E car has to be like torque-wise and response-wise compared to your standard car, let alone any other race car out there. These have to be absolutely insane. I wonder if I would fit in one, but they look super wild. For you overland guys, immediately across the hall is a really cool Toyota Land Cruiser that somebody has obviously taken a little time to restore. I really like the color on this thing a lot. Pretty. One thing that's drawing quite a crowd is this bare metal Impala. Now, I mean, this would be absolutely crazy to see anywhere. In Los Angeles, we have lots of lowriders. It's a whole culture. To see it here in Japan is absolutely even crazier, and definitely probably really surprising for a lot of Japanese people walking through the show right now. So found another R34 GTR, which is a little bit different here. So this one is a wide-bodied R34 GTR, which maybe not something a lot of people would do today, but it is an RWB collaboration on an R34 GTR. I don't think this is something that they'll probably make a habit of, or that's likely going to become a trend, but I mean, it is interesting to see, probably more of a one-off thing. It doesn't really seem like the car wants to be RWB'd by the way some of the lines and stuff are set up on here, but it's definitely an interesting take. And I guess if you had a spare junk R34 GTR and you want to do something weird with it, then this could be it. Here's a car that I've seen quite a few times before, especially at ours meeting at Fuji Speedway, but it is the Impul GTR Super GT car from 2019. This thing is absolutely wild. It's got the Celsonic livery on it, which is an iconic livery going all the way back to the R32 for GTRs. And if you look at this thing and just how aggressive the aero is on this car. The downforce has to be absolutely insane on this, and it is so cool to see it every single time I see it. If you guys didn't know, camping and van culture is really popular here in Japan as well, just as we've seen it kind of really pick up in the United States. So there's lots of cool different little camping options here. There's a Super Auto box that I really like that sells a lot of this kind of stuff, but this thing is pretty cool, pretty neat. You can see ET is up in there chilling, but there's lots of cool little camping options available here for people that want to get out and do some camping. Maybe a little bit small for me since I'm kind of a giant, but some cool stuff that gets done, some cool liveries. This obviously is kind of reminiscent of a Bronco done on a much smaller Suzuki here, but pretty cool. All right, Auto Salon is pretty big. I wouldn't say it's quite the size of SEMA, but it is definitely probably pretty close to being up there. I'm walking through a hallway right now into a whole other room, just like the one we came out of, that is massive. Our first stop is the Y Square booth. Y Square is a booth that we displayed a Supra on in Tokyo Auto Salon in 2019. This year it seems to be rally inspired. Blake, if you're watching this, I hope you think this is really cool. There are some really, really cool Subaru WRC cars here that are absolutely insane. These have just like continued to escalate in popularity. The demand that people have for them is crazy. So many collectors are super interested in getting their hands on these. We've imported a few Colin McRae cars for people in the US that find them really, really interesting. And I mean, if you look at them, they are cool. If you're into rally racing, this is definitely, as far as I know it, to be kind of the peak of that whole era. Only a few steps away, there's this really cool Hakosuka that is hanging out here that is kind of stanced, kind of wide-bodied. Has an SR swapped into it, which is different. I've seen RB26s in these quite frequently for people looking for more power, but never an SR. All right, almost immediately we see some more R34s, which are pretty cool. These not GTRs, these are GTTs. The four doors, I still think are really slept on. They're popular here. There's a handful of people in the US that really like them. We've sold a good amount of them. They're really, really unique because it's still a GTT. It's a four-door. You can do the GTR kit on it to make it look like a GTR, which is exactly what this company does. It's Urus. They make these body kits for the wide body kind of things. This looks like it is a drift car, which would make sense to use a GTT for that. It's already rear-wheel drive. But really, really cool way to be able to get into an R34 without buying a GTR. All right, so this is definitely a little different. It is a completely slammed, I know what this is. It's not a Hummer. It is like Earth Cruiser or something like that. It's a Toyota. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't remember the name of it, but it is like a Hummer, but for Japan. It's huge. This thing is really crazy. Obviously, a lot of fabrication went into this thing. Pretty crazy to see it just completely slammed to the ground like that. All right, so not my thing, clearly, but I saw these sparkling from across the room, so I figured I would show you them. This looks like a fully crystalled out Mercedes next to another one, and they are definitely very shimmery, very shiny. Even inside the headlight has it, so this looks absolutely wild, like it should be a wrap, but it is not. Kind of in the same spot as always, we found the Garage Active R32s and an R33. You remember these have been in the States a couple times before. The R33 definitely looking pretty sick as a wide body. So the difference is one is full carbon fiber, one is FRP. So pretty cool kit actually. If you don't want to go the full carbon fiber, really makes it nice and wide. Looks good, and again in midnight purple, looking really, really clean. And then the man himself, Mr. Sakamoto-san.
Hey.
One thing on this R33 that's really cool is I like how the front fender kind of pokes a little bit like this, just kind of like how the R34 GTR Z-Tune style does. But these cars are just basically works of art at this point. He's done so much craftsmanship with them. And every time that one has come to the United States, people just lose their minds because you're just not used to seeing this kind of level of build on a Skyline. And every single one of them is just so impressive. All right, another car that's been really popular for us is the Chaser. These are really, really great drift cars. Lots of people buy these specifically to drift. My friend Ryan Denton just got one for himself. Dustin just got one for himself. So they are definitely up there with the short list of cars that people are dying to have as drift cars. We're looking at getting one as a company drift car to kind of learn how to drift on. So if you are looking for a drift car, one of these is a great place to start. There's another car that is starting to gain in some popularity. These Century limos are unique in that they're V12s. So you get a V12 engine in them. They're designed to be kind of more of an executive style car, but people really like to stance them out, especially with a V12 in them. Makes it super, super unique car. There's some incredible exhaust systems you can get for these kind of things that make them pretty wild. And there's a few in the States, one of which we've already done California compliance on. All right, making our way into Hall 7, which I think might be the last one through. See what's in here, starting with this really cool Land Cruiser. These are kind of on my list of future collectible cars. Anytime that I've talked about the future of collecting cars, Land Cruiser definitely on it. I know it's not something that most people probably think about when you think as a collector car, but people really do love these things, and they're getting harder and harder to find in great condition. There's some amazing restoration programs for them that people are doing, and it seems like there is a few of them here already that are super cool, like this black one. Found the Liberty Walk display, which if that's what you're into, they always bring out a bunch of really interesting cars. You've got the 8.6, got some Lamborghinis, a McLaren 720, which is pretty crazy. And if you step into the back here, we've got a Ken Mary, which is like all smurfed out, which is pretty interesting livery for that. Right next to a Hako, which is really cool. It's got the old Nismo livery on it, the Shell and Nissan on it. This thing is actually really, really cool. Man, it's so cool to see a Hako like this. This is a pretty cool exhibit. It's the Toyota Hall of Champions. Lots of winning race cars here from all different types of motorsports, which is pretty cool. We've got the Super Formula car there, and then right next to it, the GR Supra, which is pretty crazy to see as well. So much aero and so much downforce. All right, so as you can see, it's starting to get super packed in here. I mean, you basically almost can't move anywhere at this point. I would say in the last 5 years of coming here, this is probably the most packed I've ever seen a media day. Out here we have some of the Autobox Super GT series cars. So these are cars that would race at Fuji Speedway, which are pretty crazy. You get the R35 GTR here, the NSX GT right here, and then we've got the Toyota Supra right next to it, which if you think about it is a super iconic lineup. Even going back to the OGs to have the Supra, the NSX, and the GTR racing way back in JGTC. But we'll be on track at Fuji Speedway in my car, my R34, later this week. But pretty cool to see the ones that are doing it now. Man, this looks so good. So here's kind of an interesting car. I've actually never seen one of these in person before, though I do know the kit. So it's called New Old Style, which is like a body kit here in Japan for the Porsches, specifically the 997s. They do a lot of them, which is my generation car, which is pretty cool. I mean, I hate to compare it to it, but it's kind of like an RWB. But what kind of sets it apart is the way that they do the front of the car with the like louvers on the hood. It looks super, super clean, more aggressive, has kind of more of that functional GT look to it, I think, than some of the RWBs do. But I really like this style kit on the car. It's pretty cool. And again, down in the front even, you can see it kind of has that more kind of GT car. Fog lights in the front, which makes it pretty interesting. And right next to it, a full carbon Porsche 911. So this is pretty cool. This would be, I guess, maybe like Garage Active's version of a 911, but pretty cool. Nice attention to detail. So cool to see these two sitting next to each other. All right, so this is really cool that they have a setup here. So this is Marigawa. This is something I would love to just do an entire vlog about. I'd love to go there and drive. What it is a private racetrack. And this is a model of their grounds, which is pretty crazy. So, you know, we have thermal, out by us in California, which is cute compared to this, which is like your own personal Nürburgring. It is a racetrack fully designed around a clubhouse that you can become a member of, and they have some insane amenities. And as you go over here, you can get a much better look at what all of this is like. But it is a really, really cool hotel and racetrack slash car condo, if you will, that you can keep your cars at, come and drive. So if you are super ballin' here in Tokyo, you can do this with your cars. All right, so one car here that I'm definitely going to stop and point out is my buddy Rico's RWB. This thing is so cool. Keeping on theme with the gold cars for a little bit here, we've seen the Top Secret Gold R34 GTR. This is really cool. Man, it's like a work of art. And right next to it, he's got the Gold Z that looks like it's wide-bodied too. So I'm going to chat him up a little bit and find out some more details on this car. But man, it is pretty sick to see these side by side. All right, we got talking, and I almost forgot to finish this, but the deal with the Z is that this is a kit out of Arizona, and it's a IMSA kit, I believe he said, and it kind of looks like a Corvette, but it's supposed to look that way. There's no headlights, no mirrors, except for these little guys on the side, no windows. He drives it just like this. It is plated. It's got California plates on the back of it, which is pretty crazy. So really unique car for sure. It won Battle of the Builders at SEMA in 2022, and he shipped this car and this car both out for Tokyo Auto Salon. All right, here is another one of my favorite race cars here. This thing is super cool. It is the Wedsport Advan GR Supra. This thing is so wild. I love these modern Super GT cars. They're so cool. The aero on them is just, I can't get over it. I want to drive one so bad. The styling of these cars is absolutely insane. And I would really, on the top of my bucket list, is to go to a Super GT race here in Japan. Maybe I can talk Dustin into going with me. I feel like he'd be up for that. But man, this thing's so sick. So earlier in the video, I said I thought maybe the trend might be Zs or R35s, but I think it's race cars, which I really, really love about Tokyo Auto Salon right now. Is there are so many great race cars here. This one is a 2013 GT500 Super GT car. It's a Zent SC430, and this thing is really, really sick. So the SCs are Lexus. So the Lexus SC430 converted to a race car, which is something that I've never seen before. You can see how the rear end winds down. This is a pretty popular like cabriolet convertible style car in the US. So to see it as a race car here in Japan is pretty cool. I bet back in 2013 this thing was super, super futuristic. There is a bunch of cool stuff here, including the Mines R34 GTR. So I had a chance to see this car when I was visiting Built by Legends. They had it at their shop getting looked at. This is a pretty awesome car. It is a V-Spec N1 R34 GTR. Has all of the Mines stuff done to it. Somewhere there's a video and an Instagram reel that I made about this car, but cool to see it here again in the Bridgestone booth. Definitely a super iconic car. All right. I don't really know anything about Honda race cars. You do? What is this thing? You're out here tripping about it.
This is the Type R GT, which essentially is like their Super GT version of the FL5. Absolutely epic. I mean, it has all of the concepts of a Super GT car. So you have the exhaust out the side, the crazy wide dry carbon body. I mean, even look at the doors, look at the windows.
That's crazy.
All molded. It's ridiculous.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, it looks really sick. Dude.
And one of the coolest parts, center locks.
Center locks. That's crazy. Do they actually race this thing, or is it like a demo car?
No, I think this might. I mean, they do like demo things with it. I don't know if it's an actual race car.
Yeah.
But I do know that they do demo.
Dang. This thing is pretty sick. Dustin is like a kid in a candy shop right now, just nerding so hard.
Dude, how sick is that hood?
You're just nerding out so hard on
nerding
this.
so hard, dude.
Dude, yeah.
And look, even Mugen wheels. BBS
Dang, dude.
wheels.
I'm learning a lot about Hondas right now. I'm learning a lot about modern Hondas.
Look at the seats. Mugen Recaros.
Dang. Pretty clean, dude. Honestly, I do like this. I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Crazy.
All right, one of my favorite paint styles is the two-tone on the S13 Silvias. I love this white with the tan underneath, and this is so clean. I can't believe it. This looks like a brand new car. It's absolutely insane to see it here. With so many modified cars here, I feel like it stands out to have one that isn't modified, and this one definitely stands out. Finally time to eat. It has been a long day. We've seen so much stuff, so gonna knock out some food and get ready for tonight. All right, that is it for Tokyo Auto Salon 2024. It's been real. Saw some insane cars. I'll try to do some more stuff Instagram reel wise, show you guys what else is out there. But for now, we are gonna move back to the hotel and chill for a minute before the Tokyo Underground meet. All right, so we're leaving, and usually there's some parking lot finds on the way out, and I gotta say, I'm gonna stop right here. There's a black R32 that looks pretty sick.
This thing is sick.
Justin and I both have black R32s. Look at this thing, pretty nice, dude. Wow, look at that. Dang. On the BBS LMs, look at that. Whew. My dude. Justin, last stop, probably last stop. S15 Spec R. Look at this.
Beauty.
Got one of these too. Dang. You need one, dog. You
I
need
know,
one.
that's like one of the ones I'm missing.
All right, so I'm getting a ride back to the hotel with Dustin in this car. I've tried to sit in this car one time before. It's a little tight. Race car things. Let's see. Oh my god. Oh, dudes. I'm stuck on everything. Oh. Oh. All right. We're in. It's a little tight.
Adventure now is we're gonna take Brian to his hotel room.
Yep.
Dude, I need gas. Shoot. Maybe on the way to the next hotel we'll stop and get gas.
Yep.
Oh, mother.
This is full-on race car back here, boys.
Dude, it is no joke.
It's gutted. Wow. Quite the situation here. All right, so there it is. I survived. Wonder if you know.
No, sorry.
Say it.
It just
Say
plays in my head when I see stuff like this.
Say it.
I can't.
Say it.
I can't.
Just say it. Just do it.
I wonder if you know.
Fast and Furious! That's how we're ending the vlog.